Guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we are with our next reaction, and in this one we have Americans' first impression of living in the Netherlands. I'm excited to hear what they have to say about living in the Netherlands. This is the agency experiment, so y'all please go and subscribe to their channel. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, get a bit of thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get right to it.
Hey everyone! So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I am an American and just recently moved to the Netherlands. This is my husband, Eric. So you get to meet Eric today. And we thought it would be fun to talk about some of our first impressions of the Netherlands. So we've officially been moved into this house for 2 weeks. So I think we're finally feeling a little
Wow.
bit settled. But thought it would be kind of fun to talk about some of our first impressions
Two
of living
weeks
in the
in, this is
Netherlands.
this
I'll
is
be
gonna be
honest,
fun.
some of these are a little silly. None of these are super serious, but wanted to just share our first impressions. And Eric, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself at all.
I'm Eric.
He's been going through all of this with me, just behind the camera, not in front of it.
Speaking of the Dutch mail, it is so efficient. Still filming, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna keep this all in. Not gonna cut any of it.
We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep most of it, but
That's how that works.
so that's a good way to lead us to one of our first impressions we wanted to talk about was mail and delivery windows. So
Okay.
if you are from the US, then you probably know that the US Postal Service is not super functional and they rarely do what they're supposed to. And so I was pleasantly surprised when we moved here to find that PostNL is amazing, at least in my experience. We had a package that was supposed to be delivered the day we moved in, right before we moved in, and I was actually able to reschedule it to the day we moved in
Oh,
and got like a 2 hour window, and it actually showed up in that 2 hour window, which is honestly just incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes like we see things and like here they're just like, well, it's supposed to be a 45-minute window and it's 2 hours now. And it's just like, yeah, that's amazing still. All right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's truly still amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Like I had paychecks that were sent by paper and just lost forever. Like we got a notification that the check was in the mail, had a picture of it by the post office, and then oof. And they're just like, just walk around the neighborhood and knock on doors until somebody returns your money.
Yeah.
That's the solution in America.
What
Yeah.
the?
If you have something that's being delivered by UPS, your window's like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it either doesn't show
Yeah.
up or shows up at 10 p.m. or it's never works. And I think everything we've had delivered here, we've gotten like a 1 or 2 hour window and
That's
it's
nice.
actually arrived in that window, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff was supposed to come, like, they said it'd be like 5 business days. It's been like 4 actual days. And then they sent me a message this morning and they were like between 1:30 and 2:30. And it's usually the first part of the window.
Yeah. So A+ for mail and delivery services in the Netherlands.
Because some people
Yeah.
can't win elections when people vote by mail. So they destroyed our mail service.
I think one of our other first impressions is everybody warned us.
It says so they destroyed our mail service. I feel like, yeah, the post here, when you get that notification, mine's mostly say out for delivery. Will be delivered by the end of the day. There's no 2 hour time window they give. You don't know when they're coming. You don't know when they're coming. It's just like, we'll deliver by end of day. It's like, okay. Okay, so it's coming at some point today. I just can't tell when. I'll say Amazon does a great job of delivering very quickly. But postal mail, yeah, it can take a while. Some as I've had to get IRS mail in the past, it's like you should get this within 14 or 21 days, and if you don't come back, it will resend it, and then that takes another 21 days, and it gets frustrating. So our mail service could be better. I won't complain though, and I won't judge because I haven't had too much issues out of it. But I would agree it absolutely could be better, and that's just something cool that they already discovered in the Netherlands. Right, you get that little 2 hour window, not a whole day.
It's about the Dutch directness and how it might come off as a little rude. But I'll be honest, I feel like every single person that we've met here has been super friendly and super helpful. I mean, I've seen some of the directness, but it hasn't come off rude. I don't know if maybe we just appreciate it more or we're expecting it, but everybody's been amazing that we've encountered here.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, that I don't like the chit chat, small talk, like
I feel
fake
that.
niceness that we do in the US, like where you walk in, it's like, haha, welcome. And then it's like, I have a question. They're like, I don't know how to do anything. Thank you. And you're like, okay, great. So thanks for putting on a fake voice and not doing anything useful. And here it's very like, do you have this? No. I'm very direct and I tell people what I'm thinking. So I appreciate that there's a whole country
Uh,
of that. I don't know. I
I
used to live
feel
in
that.
Switzerland also. They were very direct and told you things. And I think we've even gotten into like arguments about like, tell me what you're saying. She's like, no, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, you're clearly lying. Just tell me what you're thinking. It's okay. Like I appreciate people being honest and direct.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of time.
Yeah. And so that's been another positive that we've seen. One of the other things we noticed is
I
just
feel
how
like when it comes to Dutch directness, it's absolutely going to be hit or miss when it comes to foreigners visiting or moving to the Netherlands. Right, it's something that you're not quite used to, and so I feel like it takes an adjustment. But this couple, they're like, this is kind of something we were kind of used to. Like this is he like I don't really like the small talk, the chit chat, like you putting on a fake voice and the fake niceness. He's like, yeah, I just need the information that I need and I can keep it moving. Like, just be honest and speak your mind. As someone who's not really that way, I would say I enjoy like walking into a store and seeing like a big smile and, hey, how are you doing today? Can I help you with anything? Even if you can't help me. For me, somebody like me, like, it's just nice that you like, you want to, but you just can't in a sense. And I always but my guy's like, nah, just tell me what I need. And I get that because I've been in moods where it's like I walk into this, I don't want to talk. So I definitely understand where he's coming from. Dutch directness would take some adjusting for me. But I think, like she said, I don't think they ever come off in a tone of like rudeness or just like trying to be mean or it's just like, in your face, like I'm about to give you the truth in a harsh way. No, I think it's probably they come off in a nice tone. They're just like honest with what they say, and so I get that.
efficient and innovative the Dutch are. I mean, obviously, if you look at Dutch history, I mean, like we're living on what used to be water, so obviously very innovative over time. But even just little
That's
things,
insane.
like we went and bought a couple lamps at the lamp store, and the guy, instead of us giving us 2 extra boxes for the light bulbs, put them inside the box, and then he asked if we wanted a bag, and we said yeah because we were walking back from the market. He looked around, didn't have one, and then just created a little handle with the tape on the boxes so it was super easy to carry. Just little
Wow.
things like that.
I think we talked about it's the Dutch have problems they look to solve, and America's economy is like, how can we create a problem so then we would create jobs and items that we can do to fix that problem? And it's just like, well, why don't we just not have problems in the first place?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I feel like in America, we create problems so we can solve problems, and the Dutch are just like, if there's a problem, let's solve it
Yeah.
instead of like,
Uh,
well, let's flood everything so then we can like create an economy getting rid of flooded areas.
Yeah. So the innovation and efficiency has been
uh,
amazing. One of the other things,
I
and
won't. I won't say that. I won't say that. The government does that, but I will say that it feels like that a lot of times. It feels like there are problems created that create more problems. Almost like if you relate it with medication, a lot of feels like when you look at the side effects of a lot of medications, it's like the medication they give you to take care of this now causes you to have this side effect, and now you got to get a medication for that side effect that causes. I love how he says the Netherlands. Yeah, it's like let's just solve the problem. Like what the Netherlands, I've always called the Netherlands the water benders because it feels like you guys just bend the water to your will. Like there's water there, we're gonna put land there. You feel like you guys have, I know y'all had bad floods like early on, and throughout history, you guys have learned more and more. And now it feels like you guys are at the point where it's like y'all in this battle with the ocean. And right now, y'all are in control. Of course, you know, the times are going to change and things are going to change. But it feels like the Netherlands is like, we ain't just finna be defeated by the ocean. We finna figure out how to defeat it. And I like that. All right, let's continue. I'm sorry.
innovation and efficiency has been amazing. One of the other things, and I actually experienced this when we came to visit in the fall, and I thought maybe it was just a fluke, but when we stayed at our hotel in Amsterdam in the fall when we came to visit, the berries at breakfast were amazing. And I think I ate a giant bowl of berries every day for breakfast. And so when we got here, one of the first things I did was go to Albert Heijn and buy some strawberries just to see.
Oh,
And oh my God, they're so good. Like, I don't think you understand how trash American berries are. There's
I feel
maybe
okay.
1 week a year where if you get to the farmer's market right when it opens, you might get some berries that taste pretty good, but they're like really good. And I feel like I'm going to hear in the comments that, oh, they're not even that great right now, or oh, the ones from Albertine aren't good. But we've eaten so many berries
See,
since we
like I
got
like
here
them.
because they're so delicious.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone says they taste like water, but like I think they taste very good. And the probably a big part of it is even if they are greenhouse or hydroponically grown, y'all ripen your fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables and then sell it because you're close. Where America just like
Hmm.
we're gonna get everything from South America and then get mad that everyone in South America is trying to move to America where all the food's getting shipped to, but it's all like I mean, everything's picked like halfway through its ripening process and it comes rock hard and then you have to ripen it yourself and then it
Yeah.
rots 2 hours later. So that's kind of how produce in the US works. So I think like produce here is pretty awesome, even though it's still the winter. I think she's going to be in total overload when summer comes and it's like fruit and vegetable season.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. Eric's already planning to grow a little garden on our rooftop. So I'm sure we'll have even more amazing tasting.
Yeah, it doesn't get that hot
Mm.
here, even though I know everybody's like, it's so hot here and there's so much humidity, but Dallas just floods and it's concrete and it's 44 degrees and 250% humidity and
Mhm.
asphalt everywhere. But here, I'm excited to grow on our rooftop because, like I said, we get 17 and a half hours of sun. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that'll be awesome. So
Yeah. So
That is cool.
another good first impression.
That is pretty cool. I'm starting to get the feeling that Eric was about fed up with the U.S. Starting to get the feeling while watching. Eric said, "I'm tired of the U.S. Like, let's go to the Netherlands." But it seems like they're loving it, and yeah, I feel like the berries. That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of strawberries. Love a good strawberry, and she's right. Like it's hard to find like a good pack of strawberries in the store when I go. Like to find any that like aren't already like starting to turn mushy, that have just that beautiful color to them, just that look and taste really good. Even when you buy packs, it feels like only half the pack is still good, and you got to eat them within like that first day or two, and then they're done. Um, yeah, it just doesn't feel like we're the greatest when it comes to fruits. I guess as compared to the Netherlands, where she like, I got some at Albert Heijn and they amazing. And the comments probably the Dutch probably gonna be like, those berries taste like water. Like you ain't even tasted like good. You think that's good berries? You ain't even begin to taste what good berries are. And so like to think like I guess they Albert Heijn's berries that they buy in the winter, they already love them so much more than what they had in the US. And to think that the Dutch are probably like, you don't even know. You don't even know what we got. But that's dope.
Of the others, and we've actually noticed this when we've traveled to Europe. So I don't think it's specific to the Netherlands, but it feels pretty specific to Europe. And we always joke about it whenever we come visit because we see dads with kids. And that might sound ridiculous, especially if you're not American, but like in America, you never see dads alone with kids. It's only
I feel
moms with
that.
kids. You'll see the whole family together, but I just like rarely see dads taking care of kids alone. Whereas here, you can just sit at a cafe and watch people walk by, and you see dads taking their kids
I
to
love
school, dads
that.
taking their kids to the
I
playground,
love
dads playing
that.
with their kids. And I don't know. It's sad to me that it's that shocking and surprising. Eric likes to make jokes about
I always joke that
the
the
absent
moms are
moms.
absentee because like I see so many dads with their kids,
Yeah.
but I also see the moms, this like tiny little woman with 3 children on a
Yeah.
bicycle just maneuvering this cruise ship around. And yeah, I think it's great. I feel like a lot of problems in America could not be happening, especially politically, if dads would spend time with their kids and maybe tell them good job every once in a while. But in America, I mean, if you just watch the news in America, you can see dads acknowledging their children's existence is just the weakest, lamest thing you could ever
That's
do. Like
crazy.
you don't deserve you're not even a man if you even know your kid's birthday in
Yeah.
America. It's
That
just
is
really,
crazy.
really sad.
It
Hmm.
is. I mean, if you watch the show Succession, I think you can get a good feel for that.
I
Right?
like, yeah,
It's these
good
kids are
show.
just trying. They're just trying desperately to get dad's approval, even
Hmm.
after he's dead. And I feel like
Hmm.
that's so many particularly wealthy, influential people in America just want their daddy's approval. So I just feel like if dads played with their kids and gave them approval when they were young, we wouldn't have a lot of these problems. Yeah. So again, love to see the dads with the kids, which could
No, I love it, and they're absolutely right. You have that culture, but I also think there's just a big culture of the U.S. Like it's just hard, honestly, to survive. Like it's hard to survive in the US, and especially like if mom is gonna stay home with the child, then you as a dad, like you have to work so much where you aren't able to enjoy that time with your family because you're constantly working, making sure everybody's provided for. There is a lot of that situation going on. But also, like they said, there is a lot of the culture where it's like, bro, like it's not as cherished like dads being with the kids. It's not looked upon or praised as much as like moms being with the kids. Because I mean, that's I guess usually the customs throughout history, the roles throughout history. But I agree. Like, because I do YouTube, like, I get to record these videos and then I get to hang out with my son almost every day, and I get to like play with him. And there's nothing greater than spending time with your kid. Like, they are some of the dopest human beings ever. Like, getting to hang with him and play with him, it's everything. And I wanted because I did want to be a teacher and a basketball coach, but I think about it right now while my son's still young. He's about turned 17 months. That's just so much time away from him and my wife. Like I can't see myself being away from them that much because hanging out with them like is that fun, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So big shout out to everybody on YouTube that supports because you guys help me to do that. But I love that. Shout out to the Netherlands dads taking care of the kids. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I rock with it. There's nothing greater than hanging with your kid. They're frustrating, very frustrating, very, 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 very frustrating. But there's nothing greater than getting to hang with them.
leads me to my next one is just seeing kids outside playing again. And again, we're generalizing, right? This doesn't mean this is true everywhere in America. It's not that all American dads are absentee. There's plenty of good dads in America who play with their kids, but
Rich, privileged people
yeah,
have children that get to play outside and spend time with their kids. And then that's the other 98% of people don't.
yeah.
Hmm.
But just
I
seeing kids
mean,
playing
yeah.
outside, hearing kids playing outside, it's just very abnormal. It's just
It looks like my boy is actually waking up right now, so I'm gonna finish this video next time.
not something that we're used to. We've lived in neighborhoods. We've lived in neighborhoods with families, and you just didn't see kids outside playing in the street. I feel
I
like
feel
every
that.
day when I'm outside walking, I see kids outside playing, which is just awesome. It's just nice to see.
Yeah, in the US, you usually only see kids outside playing during school when it's like active shooter drill practice.
Hmm.
Sad but true, honestly. The recycling, again, kind of another silly one.
Yeah, I feel like it is sad here. You don't get to necessarily see the kids get to play outside. Like that is tough. Because you turn on the news and you see kids get kidnapped, and you hear all these terrible things. And I think as a parent, you start becoming afraid to let your kids out by themselves. And so either they're playing outside when you're outside, or that there has to be some type of supervision. But shout out to the Dutch. I think it's amazing that these kids can freely play outside and enjoy each other's company. When I was a kid, I got to freely go and play outside and go to my friends and ride my bike across the neighborhood. And yeah, but with everything these days, these kids don't have the same luxury over here in the U.S.
I I know I said in one of my videos, if you had watched it, that one of the reasons we wanted to move out of the US is just people in the US don't seem to care about the environment. Again, broad generalization,
I
but
get
they
that.
just don't. And I mean, you could read the news and see how much we don't care about the climate as Americans. But it was just really nice to see all the different recycling and how many more things are recyclable here. It's
Mm,
some amount of effort to separate everything. So we have our general trash, we have our compost, we have
mhm.
paper recycling, we have plastics and metals and cartons.
Oh
And
wow.
then we have just like the bottles we return and any other glass recycling.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I dealt with it a lot in Switzerland, and doing it on a commercial hotel and restaurant level, doing it for two people, it's super easy.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people complain about the work it is, and I was just like, it's too much work to do all this. And I don't know, it's almost like it discourages you from being wasteful and buying unnecessary items and throwing it in the trash all the time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's supposed to make it a little bit of a challenge so you're not a wasteful trash person. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
I think people should realize, I mean, it was one thing with us. We used to compost at home and back in the States. And I think the first 2 months of composting was just like, oh my God, most of our trash is food,
Yeah.
which is sad. And while food prices are exploding and we're over here just overbuying, and also here too, like the refrigerators are tiny, which is great. So you can't go to Costco and buy a jumbo pallet
Mm.
of tomatoes that are going to rot and then go in the trash. It's good. Limitations are good because people are just going wild with it and they waste it.
Yeah,
Facts.
and it's literally like the least we can do is recycle. And back in the US, we had recycling, but it was all single stream in Texas at least. So nothing actually got recycled. I don't think anything actually got recycled. I think it all ended up going in with the trash.
Yeah, I mean, for us taking our trash out was pretty difficult because you had to like drag it through your yard in the mud, which they
Ooh.
thought was a great idea. People actually got mad when they tried to change that. And then I have this huge 120-kilo gate that I had to open to get the trash cans out, and it was a big hassle. So we just learned to not produce a lot of trash because I didn't want to take care of it. So
There you
it's
go.
kind of your benefit to not have to deal with trash all the time. It just kind of discouraged you, and it's kind of a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say things like kilos and temperature Celsius. In America, you're the only country that doesn't use that. So Google it. All right. Join the rest of the world.
I'm still trying to adjust my brain to convert
They
everything. The
say
other thing that kind of leads
so
me into
so Google it. And yeah, I agree. Join the rest of the world. And I agree. I used to be, I will admit, I am guilty of in the past being one of those that didn't care about recycling. Um, and it really took me to understand that like our job here is to uh, leave the world better, right? Or at least in the same state as we found it. And all the trash that the us not caring about the environment is harming the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, and they shouldn't have to clean up after our mistakes. And so I think us right now, maybe we have to clean up after the generation before us and the generation before them. But I think us right now that we have to take this task on in order to make it better for the next generation so they have less to do, and then the next generation and the next generation. And now where these practices become so common that the world is not, or the environment is not being harmed by us as humans in terms of certain trashes and foods and waste and all these things.
the environment, just plants and flowers everywhere. It just there's something about it that just makes me so happy when you see all this greenery outside, and especially right now, all the flowers are blooming. But even beyond that, just walking down the street and seeing in people's windows all of the pretty flowers and houseplants. So I feel like the first week we were here, we were carrying home a couple plants every day from somewhere to try and fill the house and fill the garden. But I love having the fresh flowers and plants
That's so
everywhere.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the flex here is to have flowers and plants in your window as your
Mm.
lawn. And the US, like it's an ornamental lawn that provides nothing. It floods the soil, it consumes a ton of water. And in Texas, between like 3 weeks a year, it was green. It was just a waste. And
Yeah,
it caused a lot of flooding. And here it's nice and plants clean up your house and they make it look
yeah.
nice. And I don't know if you can see, we have plants and flowers here. Like it makes the house look nice. And, we buy cut flowers when they're done, we put them in compost, and then we get to have that soil back at the end of the year to put in the garden. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's even a guy down the street who sells cut flowers at the market, and so on Fridays he'll sell them outside his house. We literally just walk down
Mm.
our own street and buy some fresh new cut flowers every Friday.
Well,
yeah,
there
I
you
think it's just
go.
prepping for the market, but it's kind of nice that we get first exclusive look
Yeah,
on flowers. I would like that for a lot of other things, but flowers is nice too.
it is. One of the other things is
It's
the
funny
food.
because I grew up in Texas, and when my wife would come to visit me when we were still long distance, like she'd be like there are no trees here. Like y'all don't. She's from Georgia, and now that I've moved out here to Georgia, and there are a lot more trees, and there are a lot more, and you got the mountains and everything. And I'll say the part of Texas that I lived in, there wasn't many trees, and so she was like, y'all don't got nothing. Like, there's nothing. And I'm like, I never noticed it. I never looked around and noticed it, but she makes a very, very valid point. Um, that still does not take away from the fact that I absolutely loved living in Texas. Like growing up there and everything that I experienced was pretty awesome. But yeah, we don't. The part that I lived in, we don't have much nature. I'll say that.
Food, and especially the herring. So I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of thought the whole like Dutch eat herring was more of like a touristy thing, or just, I don't know, a stereotype. Kind of like in Texas, everybody wears cowboy hats. Like, sure, you see some people wearing cowboy hats, but boy, to see the Dutch line up at like 11:30 every day for fish and herring brochies. I mean, I get
Um,
it. I could eat a herring brochie every day. I would love it,
uh-uh,
but I don't know. I was kind of
uh-uh.
surprised by that, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of funny too, because it's again in the US we have like girl food and boy food. Like women don't eat fish, but like here I just see women finish a run and go in and chow down on a herring with onions and pickles
Yeah.
and then go about their day. There's nothing weird about it. It's not smelly food. It's also just interesting to see like people just eating different types of seafood and fish.
Yeah.
In the US, it's just, can I get an overcooked piece of farm raised salmon?
Yeah.
I feel
So
that.
I have to say, yeah, so far the food has been very,
Yeah.
very lekker.
Yeah,
The most important Dutch words I've learned.
I hate when people from the US talk
I'll
about
say I didn't. I don't know if I agree or I haven't experienced the terms of boy food and girl food. It's all food to me. So, but maybe there is. Maybe he's got a point, and I've just missed it. But yeah, I've seen that herring. And I just can't. There's not a lot of foods that I'll just say I wouldn't eat without trying. But it's just something about it, guys. I can't try that herring with the onions and I can't do it. I'm not built for it, and I'm not a fan of seafood, really, to be honest. Fried fish, love fried fish, but other than that, I'm not the biggest fan of seafood in the world in the first place. So I just know that herring and my stomach would not agree with each other.
how European food has no flavor. And it doesn't have flavor because the flavor is the food.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't have flaming hot Cheetos, celery for you, but learn what a piece of celery tastes like. I just put salt on my food, and that's how I've always cooked. And just learn what real food tastes like. My favorite thing is when people from the US complain about, oh, this is too sweet here. And I'm just like, there's a kilo of sugar in like scoop of applesauce in the US. All right. Nothing's that sweet here.
Yeah.
I feel
Trying to
that.
check my list because I can see my battery dying on the camera. And so I've got one more